Welcome back. This is Rito here with another Terraria Calamity weapon showcase. Today we're going to be looking at an endgame mage weapon called the Subsuming Vortex. It is really powerful, and as you can see and hear, it is very similar to the Razorblade Typhoon that you get from Duke Fishron. And having the Razorblade Typhoon is important because it's part of the early recipes for some of the precursors to the Subsuming Vortex. But this weapon is something you can obtain after defeating Yharon Phase 2, and it requires Auric Tesla Bars. So today I want to look at how much damage this can do. I want to also look at the crafting recipe and try it out on some bosses. The tooltip for the Subsuming Vortex, with all the gear I have equipped currently, shows that it has 1,793 magic damage, 90% critical strike chance, very fast speed, insanely strong knockback, and it only uses 9 mana. And it shows that it's a material, and it can be crafted into 2 other endgame weapons, and we'll talk about that a little bit later when we go over the crafting recipe. And it fires 3 vortexes of elemental energy. And I've got it rolled to mythical, which is the best modifier. So let's go ahead and test this out on a target dummy, and it's doing a solid like 300,000 damage. I love the sound of it, and I love that it's just like the Razorblade Typhoon, but like extremely fast. And it's changing colors as you shoot it. I think it looks pretty awesome. And I also love the way the sprite looks. I think it's just such a cool tome. Let's try this out on an improved dummy from the Louis AFK mod and see how it works. You can see the larger dummy actually allows it to do a lot more damage. So we're doing like 400,000. I can basically shoot anywhere in the direction of the dummy, and I'm gonna be doing lots of hits. Like, it's very highly homing, and you can spam it for a very long time before you use up all of your mana. So this is a very good weapon to use against Supreme Calamitas. I actually found it was the most consistent for me because I almost didn't have to worry about aiming at all, especially since the arena's walled in and these do bounce off walls. So you could even be shooting at the completely wrong direction, it would bounce off a wall and it would still hit Supreme Calamitas. So this is really a quite easy weapon to use against Supreme Calamitas. Now let's test this against a couple bosses really quick. I have a feeling these are going to be very fast fights. So we're fighting Providence right now, and we're killing her really quickly. Let's see how it goes against the Devourer of Gods. There we go, first form's down. It's actually a little bit slow on the Devourer of Gods, but not too bad. Okay, let's see how it goes on phase 2. Okay, it's doing much better, phase 2. I think it's just I wasn't landing many head hits on the first phase. It's definitely capable of putting out a lot of damage. Let's actually compare it really quick to a mythical Razorblade Typhoon. So the Razorblade Typhoon can do like 3,500, 3,800, and that's with all of this gear, which is all the end game gear for a mage. I've got just Auric Tesla armor and then all these menacing accessories that are end game. Let's take a look at the complicated recipe for this weapon, and then we can try it out on Supreme Calamitas. To craft the Subsuming Vortex, you'll need the Draydon's Forge, and you'll need the Augur of Elements, the Event Horizon, the Tears of Heaven, and Auric Tesla Bars. The Augur of Elements is a combination of the Eldritch Tome, which you get from the Slime God. Then you need the Tome of Fates, which is crafted from Meld Bars and a Spell Tome. And Meld Bars you get from Meld Blobs, Hallowed Bars, and Ectoplasm. And next is the Shadowflame Hextall, which is a vanilla item that you get from the Hard Mode Goblin Summoner. And then you need Galactica Singularities and Luminite. Luminite you get from the Moonlord. Galactica Singularities are just a combination of Solar, Vortex, Stardust, and Nebula Fragments. And that's 1/3 of the recipe for the Subsuming Vortex, the Augur of the Elements part. The next part of the recipe is the Event Horizon, which you get from combining the Starfall, the Nuclear Fury, Relic of Ruin, and Dark Sun Fragments, which you can get after Yharon Phase 1. The Nuclear Fury is a combination of Luminite, Souls of Sight, Unicorn Horn, Razorblade Typhoon, which you get from Duke Fishron, and Poseidon, which you can get from the giant clams in the Sunken Sea biome during hard mode. And the other part of the recipe for the Event Horizon is the Relic of Ruin, and that's actually one of my favorite weapons in Calamity for a mage class. It's very simple to craft, just Forbidden Fragments and a Spell Tome, and it's one of the most powerful mage weapons for when you get it. It can carry you practically all the way through hard mode. And that's the recipe for the Event Horizon. The last part of this weapon is the Tears of Heaven. It's a combination of the Frigid Flash Bolt, the Water Bolt, and Cores of Sunlight. And the Frigid Flash Bolt is just a combination of the Frost Bolt, the Flare Bolt, Essence of Ellium, and Essence of Chaos. And the Frost Bolt and Flare Bolt are both weapons you can get in pre-hard mode. For the Frost Bolt, it's just a combination of some of the Ice Biome ingredients. And then the Flare Bolt is the same thing, but for the Underworld. And with those three, you'll be able to craft the amazing Subsuming Vortex. After defeating Supreme Calamitas, the Subsuming Vortex can be crafted into two amazing different weapons. The first is Eternity, which is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It is so incredibly powerful, and yeah, I would highly recommend that if you want to craft the Subsuming Vortex into something, you do it into the Eternity. The other option is the Apotheosis, which is also really powerful, but it does have some lag issues, and it's a little bit harder to land hits with. So I would definitely say the Eternity is better than the Apotheosis, but both are really awesome. And if you want all three, you're going to need to have 3 Subsuming Vortexes. So be sure to craft a few of those if you're interested in having all of these weapons. And I've done a full weapon review on both the Eternity and the Apotheosis, so be sure to check those out if you're interested. So here we are in our Supreme Calamitas arena, and let's give this a try. I've definitely used this a lot on Supreme Calamitas. This is how I defeated Supreme Calamitas in the Magnus the Mage series, and it's extremely effective, so I highly recommend it. You really don't have to focus on anything other than dodging. It doesn't do the most damage, but honestly on Supreme Calamitas, it's more about surviving and dodging than how much damage you can do, because you can actually beat Supreme Calamitas with pretty low damage weapons because each phase really doesn't last that long. And you can see we're doing pretty quick progress here. We've already got her down to 57%. And we got some adrenaline. Excellent. To another fireball phase. Okay, well let's go ahead and defeat the brothers here and start up the fight with Supreme Calamitas again. There she is. This is such a fun fight. I've done this fight so many times, but it's still engaging every time because there's so much to dodge. Okay, well this time we're going to have the orbs appearing, so we gotta be careful. Oh no, we gotta run across the top. We took a little too much damage there, but we should be fine. Wow, these orbs are really high up on the arena right now. Let's pull them down. Okay, we're to the fireball phase. This is a fun phase. I like this one. There's so much going on. And here we go. Finished with that fireball phase. That's actually one of the harder ones. And time to take out orbs. We're taking so many hits here. I hope we can survive. Oh, this is close. We definitely procced Godslayer at the end, but we still defeated her. If you're a mage class, you can always farm up Yharon's Crystal and the Void Vortex and stuff like that, but you really don't need those. Subsuming Vortex will do just as well, if not better, because it's just so easy to use, and it's very effective, just very consistent DPS, and one that I would definitely recommend for Supreme Calamitas. And that concludes our showcase of the Subsuming Vortex, the extremely buffed version of the Razorblade Typhoon. It is such an amazing endgame weapon. I love the sound, I love the look of it, I love the projectiles, I love that it homes in so much. There's really not anything to dislike about this weapon. It doesn't cause any lag. It's really just an amazing weapon. Another thing I forgot to mention about this weapon is that it applies a ton of amazing debuffs on your targets, so it has that additional bonus as well. So it's very powerful and all around one of the most well-rounded exo weapons in my opinion. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. I post lots of other content like Terraria showcase videos, and I'm also doing a rogue class death mode playthrough on the Calamity mod, and I just started that, so be sure to check those out if you're interested. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.